Okay, let's now focus on simple past. The function of simple past is to describe the reality of the past, what people or things were or were not, or what people or things did or didn't do. We use simple past to talk about completed, finished actions in the past. In the simple past tense in English, there are two types of verbs, regular and irregular verbs. Let's check the first ones. The regular verbs have ed at the end in the simple past. For example, the verb start and finishes in started, or protest, protested, or wanted. And then we have the irregular verbs. Irregular verbs can change their form, or sometimes they do not change. It's important to have a list of irregular verbs at hand because you need to memorize their simple past form. Examples of these irregular verbs are go, went, ride, wrote, speak, spoke. But also, it's important to mention that simple past has specific expressions in the past. Some examples of these are in a time when, by the end of the 19th century, during the early and the morning of 18 August 1590. The affirmative form in simple past is the subject plus a verb in a simple past plus complement. You have here two examples. The first one is Díaz continue la reforma policy of breaking up the ejido. This sentence has a regular verb, continue. The second sentence is a sentence with an irregular verb. Díaz led an unsuccessful revolt against the election of Juarez. So these two sentences are an example of affirmative form sentences using simple past. The negative form in simple past is the subject plus the auxiliary did in a negative form, not, plus the verb simple form plus the complement. Examples. Díaz didn't continue la reforma policy of breaking up the ejido. This is an example of a negative sentence using a regular verb. And the following sentence, Díaz didn't lead an unsuccessful revolt against the election of Juarez. This is an example of a sentence in simple past using an irregular verb. And the question form. When we are doing questions in simple past, we are going to use a question word plus the auxiliary did plus a verb in a simple form plus complement plus question mark. You have here two examples. What did Diaz do during his dictatorship? And when did Diaz began a revolt against Juarez? These two questions are examples of questions form in simple past.